What is up, everybody? Welcome to The Feast, episode 68, the show where you submit replays and we cast them. I am Delthius. How's it going, everybody? Hopefully you can hear the audio better this time around. I messed with a lot of settings on OBS today before the stream, so my levels should be a lot better, and also the video quality options should be back to normal on Twitch. So let me know how all that stuff is. I hope my USA fans had a good 4th of July, man. I know I did. Went to the beach with my wife's family. It was a good time. So yeah, I guess without any further ado, we should get started here. It looks like my levels look good. The game might be too loud compared to me. So if that's the case, please let me know. All right, match number 1, guys. Spawning in the bottom right, we've got Vincent. And his opponent to the left, Bratmo. Okay, this is what we expect to see out of Vincent versus Bratmo, man. Vincent with some crazy nonsense here, going for 3 tier 3 and 3 defensive structures. I like it, man. You know, Bratmo's a pretty good player, so I'm curious to see when and if Bratmo sniffs this out, you know, how he responds, because Vincent's going to be pretty exposed in the early game. I mean, I guess the best thing he could do, this is actually pretty decent for some barbed wire here, I suppose, but you could still run around the side, but you could throw a little bit of barbed wire there as well, so I don't know, man, this could work. I'm excited to see, like, okay, if you're Vincent, what do you go for first? I guess the boar, right? The boar would make the most sense, I think. Like, badger would make a lot of sense too, but there's also no pigeons, so I don't know. But I'm expecting Vincent to just open up regular, right? Like maybe 2 tier 1 warrens into a tier 2, or I mean, hell, he could just build 15, 18 lizards, and from there, you know, this is gonna get really, really tested from Vincent to see if this can actually work or not. Like, these turrets are pretty cool, but they don't protect the main base, right? Yeah, I think Vincent realizes this. And hey, what's up, Miss Clicker, with the raid? I appreciate it, man. What's going on, Liquor fans? Welcome to the feast. Yeah, see, Bratmo's playing this kind of normal. Vincent's got a lot of money, but he's going to go for his first tier 3 choice. It's going to be the boar. Makes sense to me. It's going to do well against tier 1 and kind of push on the back of it. Now, we saw Vincent in a previous episode go 5 tier 3 against Bratmo and actually got all of them out and won the game without losing a unit, so that was pretty sick. Okay, the question is, are the levels better? Hey, Pocketwatch, what's up, Andy? Thanks for the host, man. The levels should be good. You guys should be able to hear this music very well. If you can't, please let me know. But alright, so the boar is continuing production here. I think it's almost time for it to be paid for. Yeah, maybe 5 or 10 more seconds. If you're just tuning us, Vincent is running some absolute nonsense here. And we're trying to see if he'll get away with it or not, because Bratmo's got a lot of tier 1, and he's poking and prodding in. Did Bratmo... He hasn't scouted the tier 3, but he's scouted a lot of defense, and he can kind of infer that Vincent must be up to no good, right? And the boar has begun production. Probably be out in 30 to 40 seconds from here. Vincent and Bratmo is a TnT Classico. Damn right, man. Need a little more death metal in the background. I am streaming at 60 FPS. I messed with a lot of my OBS settings before the show because last time the audio quality was, I guess it was hard to hear the game, as well as there weren't those video quality options. So I did a little bit of tweaking in the settings, and I think we're in a good spot here. So the boar is almost produced. The badger should be on its way shortly. Where is that badger warren at? Am I blind? Oh, there it is. Nice. That's a nice sneaky spot for a tier 3 warren. All right, here's the boar, man. Unicorn boar. That's one of the most sick skins, dude. They really went all out on the particle effects and stuff. The flamethrower looks awesome. So I'm excited to see the rainbow boar, the unicorn boar out in combat here. All right, badger is paid for as well. So Bratmo didn't really attack. So kind of getting back into this game a little bit. Bratmo decided to tech up, and I still don't think he ever really scouted the tier 3 from Vincent. He can kind of assume it at this point, I guess. But I mean, this can work, but he's kind of giving Vincent the breathing room that he needs to get up this composition that he wants, right? Like, I think the correct response from Bratmo definitely would have been to try to push in early. But you never know. I mean, macroing up really hard is also a pretty good answer. But the board, man, he hasn't seen the board yet, so he's got to know it's some tier 3, right? And any tier 3 should do fairly well against, you know, primarily tier 1 army. All right, the board is coming. Ooh, Andy just sent me some replays. Okay, we'll get those on here. We might go into one next, actually, as long as yeah, I should have it. Discord looks like I have a message over there. Man, I want to see this boar flamethrower. Have you seen this, Andy? Dude, this is, I'm telling you, man, this is one of the best skins. It looks really, really good. And I got my heavy metal pigeons going on with their little mohawks and earrings. Okay, so we're still kind of hanging out here. Vincent looks like he's just trying to take a couple of gristmills to grab some territory. And, you know, as much as I was saying earlier that Bratmo needed to kind of push in and end the game, like, Bratmo's economy is significantly ahead at this point. He's even trying to get a third base, and here we go. Look at that sick flamethrower. So far, all the tier 3 staying alive for Vincent, but the boar is about to drop, which isn't the worst thing in the world since you do get that boar bomb explosion. Is the Badger Wolf gonna be enough? Those turrets also getting buffed up because there's no other units to kind of soak those buffs. That's one of those weird, interestingly strong things about this composition. Loses the Wolf, though. That's very nice pickup for Bratmo. But yeah, what's kind of crazy is, you know, when you don't have a whole lot of units, when you're just running tier 3 and defensive structures like this, that Wolf buff is going to land exactly where you want it to every single time, if that makes sense. Like, a lot of times you can have falcons and squirrels and pigeons and things of that nature. You want to buff the falcons, but other things take the buff instead. Okay. Okay, where are we at in this game, guys? Bratmo's getting his own wolf out. And starting to get the chameleons going. I like the chameleons here. I think the chameleons are going to do very well against, you know, all the tier 3 here from Vincent. Especially if he can start getting those numbers up. And there's kind of a little micro trick you can do with the wolf where he can bring the chameleons over here and bring the wolf over there and just wait until it buffs again, right? Just to kind of guarantee the units that he wants to get the buff do indeed get it, and then he can push out after that, if that makes sense. But we're seeing these guys be a little bit passive here. Vincent's just, you know, had to reconstruct the tier 3 that he lost. He's trying to get a second Badger out. And again, his economy, man. His economy is so far behind at this point. He really needs to get it going. He's going to try to attack in from a different angle, but this Badger is by itself. And meanwhile, Bratmo's just going to use this as an opportunity to jump on top of these undefended turrets, start getting some counter damage done, and we're entering what looks like a base race situation where, I don't know, man, it could, either player could really take it from here. Lizards are very, very fast, especially with the buff, and Bratmo is not going to go for the base race. He's going to come home and try to defend this. All right. Ooh, very nice, pretty lethal damage there done by Vincent, but if he loses everything, Bratmo's going to have a great opportunity for a counterattack. Bratmo really needs to just kind of sell off a couple of these Warrens here. You know, maybe the Lizards or a couple of Squirrel Warrens just to be able to afford what he can. But he's going to move out right here, right now. The Chameleon tanking those mine hits with the pigeons to heal it. Very, very nice value there for Bratmo. And he's coming in. I think Bratmo's got it from here, right? Vincent really can't do anything else. He doesn't have moles or anything he can just kind of build in a pinch. So I think we're going to see the slow death of Vincent as Bratmo takes a match. Suddenly a draw. Dude, we saw a legitimate draw on the show Tuesday night. It was sick. If you guys didn't see it, man, check out the VOD. It's insane, man. I've casted almost 1,000 replays at this point. I'd never seen a draw before. Bratmo takes the game. Really cool match to start the show off with. Okay, a little bit of special treat for you guys. We're gonna sneak in some replays from the developer of the game, Andy Schatz. Let's take a look. Okay, spawning on the right, we've got Comrade Snick. And his opponent to the top, No Repro, aka Andy. Okay, let's check it out. Andy going for Owl Fox, man. I like it. I really like Andy's composition here. Squirrel, Toad, Ferret, Fox. I've been having a lot of success with. The barbed wire, you know, it's map dependent. It can do well. I think the barbed wire is Andy having fun a little bit. I think turret would have been better in that spot, but I don't know. Like, a lot of people think Owl Fox can't be done, and I'm one of the naysayers as well, because it's kind of like, you know, you're trying to do a lot of different things with the deck, but we've seen the gentleman get a lot of success with Owl Fox recently, so I'm curious to see if Andy can pull this off, and how he approaches it. Meanwhile, Comrade Snick here just kind of has your bread and butter setup at the moment in this meta. You know, if you're a new player, you're struggling on the ladder, trying to think about different decks to try out, I would definitely try out Comrade's composition here. Squirrel, Toad, Ferret, again, is just pretty strong. I mean, Toads do fairly well in the current meta, as Tier 1 is very popular, and Toads also do very well against Tier 2, now that they do so much single target damage. So they can trade really well in the early games of Tooth and Tail, and even later on if you get 6 to 9 of them. And the Skunk makes a lot of sense. Skunk actually pairs very, very well with Owl. You could argue with Comrade's deck here to go Balloon over Turret. I think that makes sense. I think I'm starting to realize, at least in my opinion, what kind of the niches are in different defenses. Like, I feel like Turret is better when paired with something like the Fox, where, you know, your main strategy is to try to get, you know, something powerful out very quickly. So what do you want a Turret for? Well, you want a Turret to be able to build in a pinch and, you know, kind of protect you while you're trying to be very greedy against an all-in. I mean, essentially, if your scouting is really good, you're active on the map, you can identify rushes moving out, come home to base, throw down a couple turrets, and most of the time they'll be done before your opponent's army gets there. And the Balloon, I feel like, kind of synergizes with this Owl Skunk composition a little bit better than Turret, because the Balloon's kind of saying, I want the map, you know. Oftentimes, Owl players want to get up to a large economy, so you might be putting, you know, a Balloon, say, right here, protecting several bases at once. But coming back into this game, Comrade's being a little bit aggressive, and No Repro, aka Andy, went for a very fast Fox, and a little bit of barbed wire to try to buffer Comrade away. So really, Andy's just trying to buy time to get this Fox out. No connections yet. Nice connection there for Comrade onto those squirrels, but with some good target fire, it looks like Andy will be able to push him back for now, but the reinforcements keep coming. Comrade is doing okay in this engagement. That Toad hit was very nice, but he needs to kind of back up for a minute, regroup, get this Skunk out, hell, maybe even take this campfire, to be honest, if he could afford it, and try to really push the issue. Now, the question is, has he scouted the Tier 3? Because that makes a big difference. He has not, so he's not so sure exactly what Andy is up to, which is very unfortunate for him, man, especially a Fox. You really want to scout that as quickly as you can, so you can kind of, you know, pivot in your strategy and prepare for the Fox coming and see what you can put together to counter it. Okay, so Andy's in a very good position here. You know, essentially when you're doing this Fox Rush opening, you want to be left alone, right? Like, you're not trying to put on aggression, you're just chilling, you're just hanging back and trying to deflect any kind of all-ins or strong Tier 2 pushes that come. And Andy has accomplished that goal. You know, Comrade's getting out on the map, he's got a nice army composition put together, but he's got nothing to answer the Fox that's about to be here from Andy. So let's see some Fox micro from Andy, the main developer of the game here, coming out on the board. I try to say map and board at the same time. Well, all right. So far, so good. Gets a couple kills and just gonna go on home. He needs to be careful. It's getting kind of low, but you know, he got the value out of it that he wanted, and that barbed wire is a nice, you know, fallback position for the Fox. Comrade is just gonna go for it though, which really I don't think this is a terrible response to this, but he needs to be careful. He's got nothing in his composition that can really handle this Fox, and if those Skunks start going down, it's going to put him in real bad shape. One Skunk falls, this other one's lagging behind. Andy gets the shot on it. Both Skunks go down. Very nice pickup for Andy. Now Andy wants to keep the pressure on. He takes that campfire. Campfires build rather slowly, but once that gets up, It's going to be a nice spot for Andy to retreat to heal his units, to throw down some more Barbar. And Comrade's commander goes down in the middle of the fight. Very unfortunate, as Micro is incredibly important in little skirmishes like this. So even still, though, Comrade took a nice, you know, it could have been worse. I don't want to say a nice trade. Yeah, if you look at the graph, you can see where those tier 2 died. But that engagement right there, you know, it wasn't terrible for Comrade. The Ferret comes up, which is nice, but, you know, Comrade really needs to get a couple turrets down. If he gets a couple turrets down, he'll at least be able to deflect this Fox back and try to start, you know, creeping up and containing Andy. Really, I think the answer that Comrade needs to go for here is to kind of turtle behind several turrets and try to get up Owls. Like, he does have answers to the Fox within his composition. He just hasn't had an opportunity to really get him out. And I understand why. You know, he's just trying to stay a little bit ahead on economy. He's trying to be very aggressive. I mean, if you take the Fox out of this equation, you know, he's winning pound for pound in these fights, but the problem is the Fox is getting so much done in between the fights, right? Like, as these battles end, the Fox can get in and pick off a couple more units or before they start. And even within the battle, the Fox does very good. Nice pick up there from Conrad denying that campfire. And Andy's going to move in, but he might get boxed in and needs to be careful. Very greedy play here with Andy. Let's see if he can get this Fox home. Oh, it's going to get close. 1 HP. Very nice. Calculated, right? That's where Andy puts the sunglasses on. Oh man, I was worried for that little Fox. Alright, both players are now starving. Comrade did have a decent economic lead, but that really maverick play there from Andy gets in, knocks out those pigs, gets back, and they're kind of reset now. Comrade throwing down a single farm, but that's all he's got. Andy really can't let this Gristmill get denied. He's got to kind of stand his ground right here and start his own economy, and he's so broke, he's even gonna have to sell off some squirrels to do so. Dude, playing with the Fox is so fun, man. Fox is one of those really divisive units, you know? Like, I feel like Fox and Moles are the most divisive units. You either love them or you hate them, and for good reason. Ooh, gonna sell off everything else but the Fox. Gonna try to get in here. And again, Comrade's composition is not the best in the world to try to fight this sort of thing. As long as Andy keeps bobbing and weaving, this Fox will live. But these Ferrets knocking out this Gristmill, that's actually could be very huge for Comrade's stick. Oh man, he should have just YOLO'd it. Oh man, Comrade could have just won the game right there, but he pulled back. And that's where the Fox is very, very powerful during those retreats, man. Just come in and pick off the units that are straggling behind, but Andy loses the Fox to a pig. Man. Yeah, because Andy hadn't sold these farms, right? So if that Gristmill went down, everything would have went down. Andy would have been forced to sell the Fox. And I think Comrade could have won. That's insane, man. Very cool game. I think Andy might be GG'd here, though, as Comrade is coming in with a lot of tier 1. You like my Canadian squirrels? They're supposed to be sombrero squirrels, which they kind of look like sombreros, but they remind me of, like, the Canadian, you know, moose riding guard type dudes. The Royal Yaxman. Isn't that what they're called? I don't know. At least that's what they were called on Ren and Stimpy. Oh man, Andy holds though, and he's got 6 lizards. 6 lizards versus 6 lizards and 3 toads though. Ah, these toad connections are very nice here for Comrade. That's gonna be it. He taps out and takes the game. Very, very close. But I think in the end, Comrade really probably won the game mainly due to that economic boost he had over Andy. Mounties. Yeah, that's the one. Is it possible to kill both bases simultaneously? Yes. Okay, I don't remember which replay it was, but skim through the VOD of episode 67, man. We did actually have a tie where 2 Gristmills died at the exact same time. It was insane. Okay, next match Spawning in the bottom, we've got No Repro, aka Andy. And spawning in the top, we've got Cena. Alright. Let's take a look here. Andy changing it up. I like this. A little bit of a traditional approach here. The Wolf is it's kind of neat. It's almost like, I don't want to say a sleeper unit. I think people are starting to use it more and more often. It kind of makes sense with the strong tier 2 meta, right? Because the Wolf is really just the icing on your tier 2 cake. Look at this Andy with a 5-farm campfire here. Not scouted by Cena. So trying to be a little greedy in the early game. And overall, this map, it's kind of small as far as rush distances go. But, oh man, Andy! What a wild card, dude. Double campfire. I mean, it's an interesting risk, right? Because I think if your opponent 5-farm doubles, you're in a bad spot. But at the same time, Andy is scouting and trying to see what his opponent's up to. And look at this. This is interesting. I was kind of expecting Andy to go up to 8 farms after that, but instead grabs those Warrens, going to save those extra farms for later. So yeah, so Cena... Did Cena see the camp? Yes. Wait, you guys. I'm changing vision way too often. Yeah, so Cena scouted both campfires and knows what's going on. And Andy has already built some Warrens, though. I think he can hold this. Right, like this campfire is going to take some damage. But Andy's going to have the target firing advantage here. Ooh, this campfire might go down. It's close. Oh my god, is he going to hold it? Wow. Damn, man, that campfire's got to be at like 2 or 3 HP or something. Very nice hold there for Andy. I think a big part of that too was that Andy started that fight with target fire immediately, where Cena was really going hard on that campfire. It almost got it, but it feels very painful as he sacrifices a couple additional squirrels to continue target firing down that campfire. But now Cena is actually winning this engagement on the back of some good target firing here. And Andy is really invested into this campfire position. He's even thrown several more Warrens here to try to reinforce and hold this. The campfire falls, but Andy's now kind of, with the position of his Warrens, he's basically got defender's advantage here, right? Because now things are going to re-rally here very quickly, and he's just going to focus in on defending this back campfire. Now, keep in mind, Cena's only on 7 farms, so the economies are kind of the same. I kind of agree with the players deciding to build a lot of Warrens. I mean, it's hard to sneak in these last few farms. Yeah, it looks like Andy's just going to take that campfire again, mainly because of the proxy of it, the additional territory, and the benefits of having that. But there we go. Okay, Cena finally going up to 8 farms. It is queued, though, so it doesn't start production yet. And this ferret could be very useful, but I think Andy can punish this ferret rush because now he's got several more squirrels. It's really going to depend on the damage that this ferret can get done in between fights. He already gets 1 squirrel, which is very nice. And he's going to keep pushing in. So far, only 1 squirrel down from the ferret. Another one drops, and Andy just has a ton of squirrels here. Yeah, trying to get this tier 2 was pretty risky. Andy was kind of doing what's called like a tier 1 chicken approach, right? Where it's like, hey, you need to be careful about trying to eco up or tech switch out. If I'm just building nothing but tier 1, I can kind of catch you in a situation where your army is significantly less powerful than mine, right? Because pound for pound, tier 1 are pretty strong. And that's kind of what you see here. Like, yeah, Cena's got the ferrets, but the ferrets aren't. I mean, maybe if it was skunks, yeah, if it was skunks, it definitely would have been better for him. I mean, I love getting fast ferrets myself, but you gotta really be careful in situations like this of trying to tech up. When one player is just really trying to keep that aggression on. So now Andy's finally got a chance to come back, throw down some farms. And let's see, he's going to try to keep it going. This balloon's actually granting him a ton of vision, as well as that defensive network there. So it is rather nice. It's going to let Andy kind of get an extra second or two to see when and where Cena's attacking from. Andy's going for the kamikaze opening. Calling it an interesting risk is pretty polite. Dude, it was a madman opening, I'm not gonna lie. That's what we like seeing, man. You gotta change it up, you gotta keep it fresh. When players start going 8 farm too often, you know, you'll see this kind of thing work more and more. Like, I feel like a 5 farm double is even more powerful if the meta is mainly 8 farm, right? Alright, Andy trying to push in. I think he's probably got it from here. I don't know, though. Well, you know, Cena's boar is almost about to begin, so it's about 50 seconds to a minute away. And that boar is going to do pretty damn good against all these squirrels here from Andy. Trying to attack in here is Andy. I'd love to see him sell off these back balloons and try to get one up right there, man, on that high ground. That'd be so sick. That'd be so sick. Oh, is he going to do it? Yeah. Yep. Watch this. Boom. That's what I'm talking about. Beautiful. Even maybe throw down a farm, or is he just going to keep building warrens? He's only on 2 farms, and so is his opponent. This balloon is going to help out quite a bit against the incoming boar. But, I don't know, not necessarily if it's a really fast engagement, right? Like if this balloon just kind of hits some squirrels. But this is going to put... Oh, wow, I really like this from this balloon, to be honest. It puts Cena in a very awkward position where he can't quite even defend these front warrens anymore. Here comes the boar. Nice little choke for a boar there, indeed. And he's going to force all of Andy's units back. He's going to take the balloon. Andy's going to try to get on top of this boar, but his entire army melts. Damn, man. That was insane. Oh my god. All those units clumped up, man. That board just got so much AoE value. Now Cena's on a rampage here. Andy is trying to muster up what he can. Now this board doesn't have any pigeons supporting it, so its HP is still a little bit low. Oh, look at that board just wreck all this tier 1 though. I think that's all she wrote, man. Andy almost wins the game off some nice aggression, but in the end, Cena gets out a well-timed boar. And again, Andy never got that scout in, man, which is very, very critical. Like, that's one of the most complicated things I feel like in Tooth and Tail is when we kind of get into these scrappy mid-games, maybe on 2 or 3 bases, you know, when to sneak in that tier 3 warren, or even, in some cases, how to get back and scout your opponent when they do so, because once the armies start getting bigger and territories larger, it gets more and more difficult to really, you know, spot everything in time. Andy's going to try to turtle up behind a couple balloons, man, hoping that'll keep Cena at bay while he can try to get an expansion up and get his economy going again. If Cena gives him enough time, he might be able to do something here, but Cena's definitely in a better spot in this game. Just going to relax, wait for this board to heal up nice and slowly. It's got quite a large HP pool. All right. We might fast forward a little bit as we've kind of got reset here. You know, Cena really could end this game, but it can be hard, man. It can't. You know, it's easy for us to say that because we get this enormous vision, but it can be difficult to really tell exactly where your opponent is. All right, looks like Cena's gonna go for the move out here, sneaking around the balloons. I love it. Andy trying to hunker down a little bit more packed in, just saying, all right, man, as long as I control this gristmill, maybe I can stay in. As Cena's gonna come forward, knock out this base, which is pretty significant, as that, you know, that pig farming is pretty important for Andy on such small economies. Andy's second base, though, is finally starting to get somewhere. He can maybe start throwing down a warren or two. But the balloons are going to push Cena back for now and give Andy that valuable time that he absolutely needs to stay into this game. And Cena's just going to clean up this campfire. No, keeps the campfire alive for now. I'm sure he's probably going to go back out there and knock that out now. He just wanted to throw down some farms, make sure his economy is still up and running well. Boar is not a reptile. My public education has done me wrong, right? Is mayonnaise an instrument? Come on, man, take that campfire. It's got your name written on it, Cena. No. He's worried, man. He knows Andy's up to no good. Andy, starting to pull back into this game. He's got the better economy now. He's starting to get some chameleons, which are going to be a good answer to that boar. Gonna get 4 of them out and maybe try to ambush attack. I mean, this boar is still not at full HP, man. They heal so slowly without pigeons helping him out. Dude, Cena needs 3 pigeons. I agree, man. Just a tiny little bit of healing, man. A little bit of love. All right, Andy trying to get another base up. Spreading out his balloons a little bit. I'm surprised we stabilized, man. This game was so close to being over, and now it's starting to get reset, with Cena in a little bit of an advantageous position after coming out of the first half of this game ahead, but Andy's certainly not dead. Cena kind of not attacking in the correct window, unfortunately, but again, that can be hard to figure out for sure. Gonna try to come in now. Andy's got 3 chameleons here. Gonna see if they can get on top of this boar. I think they're gonna knock it out pretty well. Nicely done. The boar falls, loses a few chameleons here, but Andy wins the fight, which is exactly what he needed to stay in this game. Now Cena's left with very, very little. These chameleons should heal back up to HP, full HP in no time, as the reptiles do get that faster regeneration. And Andy should be looking for a push soon. Even throwing down some tier 1. Gonna wait to get a little bit of a front line. Ooh, I like this from Cena, just teching into a ton of squirrels. Selling off that boar makes sense. I mean, Cena's still got a decent economy here. So definitely not out of the game yet, but losing that boar was absolutely huge. All right, Andy decides he has enough. He's moving out to put on some aggression to try to deny this expansion from Cena. Is he going to be able to do it? Ah, those chameleons getting so much work done on the front line. Andy pulling back, though. Doesn't want to lose these chameleons. Just wants to let them heal back up and go back in for another attack. I think that makes sense. All the chameleons got to about one-third HP or so. So Andy's just going to pull back for a second and get ready for round number 2. Gonna try to get these chameleons up front. He's gonna move in. These falcons need to be target fire down ASAP for Andy. Takes a very, very strong engagement there, and that might be too much damage. Both games are very, very close. Andy even submitted a loss too, which I always love to see, man. I think that's too much damage here for Cena. He's gonna have to tap out here shortly. He wants to hold on, man. He believes. I don't blame him. This is indeed over, as Andy's gonna come in for the kill. GG. Okay, so the audio levels should be good, right? You guys can hear the game okay? But let me know, guys. I'm going to take about a 1-minute break. I will be back very, very soon. Don't go anywhere. Alright, everybody. I am back. Welcome back, Delthius. Thank you. Where are we at? Okay. Okay, I think we're on match number 2 here. Just did a couple Andy games. That was a lot of fun. Okay, audio is good, everybody says. Thanks for streaming those, says Andy. No problem, man. Thanks for submitting. If you're not aware, guys, this is anybody can submit kind of thing, man. Just shoot replays of your favorite matches at ToothAndTailTV at gmail.com, regardless of play level or seriousness, and I will probably cast it. So, anyways, guys, match number 2. Okay, spawning in the bottom, we've got Uncle P4 Swole, aka Pingu, and up top we've got the Gentleman. Alright, we got Fox vs. Owl here. Gentleman rocking the Fox Balloon combo. Got some snakes as well, so pretty interesting stuff. And meanwhile, over on Pingu's side of the board, it looks pretty normal. He sneaks in a chameleon and Toad drops a pigeon. So a little bit of adjustments to the traditional squirrel, skunk, owl approach, but I think it's pretty interesting. Pigeons are rough, man. Like, it's hard for me to build a deck without pigeons. They just seem very, very strong in keeping core units alive and prolonging engagements and things like that. You know, a lot of people argue the pigeons with the squirrel skunk push are very strong because they just allow your skunks to tank on the front lines more and more effectively, but you certainly don't need them. And I was hoping we would see something like this, and indeed we are. The classic five farm snake pigeon opening, man. This could get hard shut down if your opponent has lizards. Now, Pingu has scouted it, so he knows what's coming. He doesn't necessarily know that this is a snake, but he's going to try to stay on top of this tier 2 to see what spawns out of it. You know, obviously, as long as it's not a chameleon, you'll be able to see what it is, and you can kind of, you know, put together that it's a chameleon, right, if you know they have tier 2 horns and haven't seen any tier 2 out of them. But the Gentleman's moving up, man. He's going to just really try to abuse the snake here with some good micro, some good control with these pigeons, and try to get as many kills as possible. Now, the snake is also pretty deadly to structures, so it's not like Pingu can just kind of keep backing up and microing for days. You know, if he doesn't contest this, that snake can get up on top of the warrens, on top of the farms, and deal some real damage there as well. Very nice control so far. Needs to be careful, though. What is that? 2, maybe 3 tier 1 going down for Pingu. I think Gentleman lost a pigeon or 2 there, but keep in mind, the Gentleman is also still only on 5 farms. He's very, very committed to this. He even took that gristmill up front to be able to build some more ends here to reinforce more quickly. Nice micro against this Toad. Even denies that hit from going off. All the pigeons are gone, though, and the snake is starting to fall. The Gentleman is microing his heart out, man, pulling everything back. Now, keep in mind, you know, obviously, Gentleman is really trying to keep the snake alive, but he's got to keep these pigeons alive too, right? Like, if he's killing a squirrel or 2, but he's losing a pigeon or 2, then he's trading evenly. And the Gentleman needs to trade phenomenally here to really make this build worth it, as Pingu has just been up 3 farms for a very long amount of time. But I'm pretty sure the Gentleman is just having fun experimenting with different openings and stuff. So it's really cool to see stuff like this. I think Pingu is starting to get the upper hand here, though. The kind of like squirrel, I mean, even toads in this meta are kind of the hard check, the speed limit almost, you know, for crazy openings, right? Like, if 9 times out of 10, if you see your opponent doing something crazy, the correct answer is just build squirrels, and kind of punish them with the basics, right? And that's kind of the burden of the person who's trying to engineer the crazy build, the crazy opening. You know, they have to constantly consider, okay, well, you know, I've spent an equivalent amount of money at this point in the game to what somebody could spend on just, let's say, 18 squirrels. So is what I'm doing more powerful than 18 squirrels, right? March Faster with the vid cheer. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. Alright, you know, the Gentleman's been keeping these snakes alive. You know, I think he lost that warren. I apologize, I wasn't paying super close attention. And the gristmill is now going to go down, but, you know, if I had to be really critical, one thing when you're controlling toads, you want to be very, very careful, unless it's some kind of, like, YOLO base race situation where you're just worried about time, you want to be careful about microing those toads and keeping them back and not letting them, you know, explode onto buildings. There are exceptions to that, though. Like, say you're coming in here for a big push, right? And you're just trying to end the game. It might not be a bad idea to let some of these toads blow up on those warrens, just kind of get them out of the way. And, you know, that AoE should hurt the tier 1 anyways. But Uncle Swole here, aka Pingu, moving out. He thinks he's got enough. This is a very critical moment for the gentleman. He needs to hold this attack. And the chameleons are here as well, but no healing. The snake's actually going to do very well against the chameleon. Oh, 2 HP on the one snake. It's getting some pigeon healing. That clutch pigeon saves its life. And gentleman's going to push Pingu back, but that snake has got to go down. How is that snake still alive? Man, this game is crazy. It is so scrappy. And now the fact that the gentleman had taken those 3 farms later on in the game, like he's just still building his 8th farm right now. He's kind of got a better economy at this point, right? Like they're even now, but these pigs will farm out for Pingu before they do for gentleman. So now Pingu's got to invest money into an additional base, and gentleman even getting a little bit of extra value on his economy by grabbing that campfire. I mean, Pingu didn't have that option there. To do something like that. Pingu's definitely doing the correct thing here, but he needs to be careful to not overbuild farms. You know, 1, maybe 2 farm, because we're so scrappy in this position. He's got to make sure he's keeping up with the gentleman, man. Snake can be really good at killing commanders, says the gentleman. Yes, man. I know. I think... Dude, it is so strong at killing commander. It's insane. I don't think it's a big deal. I get salty about it. I wouldn't go as far as to say it's unbalanced or anything, but that's one of the things that is super, super rough, man, when that commander gets some poison stacks on it. But here we go, Pingu coming in for a big engagement. Again, the snakes do fairly well against chameleons, but Pingu is still marching forward. He did well not letting his commander die of poison there, which is something I don't think it's hard to explain. Like, I don't think it's imbalanced, but it's something you often forget about because you're not that extra DPS just kind of catches you by surprise sometimes, you know. I think players just need to shift, myself included, and remember, okay, they got snakes. I need to be really careful with my commander to not let poison stacks add up. But again, this is a deadly amount of squirrels, and I feel like we've seen this engagement time and time again, where you're just like, Pingu just has way too much tier 1 here, but the gentleman with some great micro, keeping these snakes alive, getting as much value as he can. One of them is going to go down, but he gets a tag on every single tier 1 from Pingu there, and deflects yet another attack from the common folk. I like that interaction, actually. It's very unique to snakes. Yeah, I agree with you, Mishi. I think it's just that people need to keep that in mind when going against a snake. Be like, alright, man, they got snakes. If I'm not careful, my commander could go down really, really quickly. Ooh, gentleman gonna lose the snake, though. Nice toad hit from Pingu. I was about to say, if that snake got out of there, you guys, that would be absolutely nuts. Dude, what a back and forth match. Look at that army value differential that Pingu had over the gentleman, but just so much micro with these snakes, so much value. And I think this is a correct move as well. Gentleman sells off the tier 2 Warren just to rally up as many squirrels as possible. I'm gonna see if he can maybe just end the game right here, right now. He doesn't have a second base, and looking at this map, it's gonna be kind of difficult for Gentleman to take a second base, regardless of how he swings it. So it's kind of really cool when you consider that. I never even really mentioned that or thought about it too much this game, that Gentleman went for such an aggressive strategy when he didn't have easy access to a second base. I'm not so sure if I'm giving him too much credit, you know, and he maybe just that deck selection, he was like, all right, man, I'm going to 5-farm snake this game. Oh, nice pickoff on that toad there. That connection would have been very, very important for Pingu. But you see what I'm saying? Like, if Gentleman decided to pull this strategy out because he kind of looked at the map and he was like, okay, it's a small map, it's going to be hard for me to expand. You know, maybe the right move is to try to pull out some aggressive, cheesy tactic and win with good control. Really cool game. Oh, you didn't sell the Snake Warren. That actually got picked off by Pingu. Nice. Match number 3, you guys. Alright, spawning on the right, we've got Big Pimpintosh. And his opponent on the left, Kerpa. So board from both players. And a lot of different... This is actually a very interesting game. I mean, both players have board Toad, but other than that, their compositions are pretty radically different. We see 4 different tier 2 here. We see Squirrel, Toad, and Lizard in various combination. So I'm excited for this, man. This mid-game can actually go a ton of different directions, depending on build orders and play styles and how they want to move out on this map. And speaking of this map, I definitely like it better for Kerpa. Tosh is not completely boned. He's got a second or third base down here as well as a campfire that are pretty easy to defend. But this base is gonna be difficult as this high ground is right here for his opponent that doesn't have an accessible ramp to even try to defend it right. Tosh would have to run all the way around. But as I'm talking too much about the map, obviously we have some early game aggression coming out of Kerpa here as he went for a 6-farm Morin. And he's bringing on the heat as we speak. Did Tosh not? No, he knew this was coming. He just tried to place his Warrens, I guess, a little bit too late. And Kerpa's going to get some value here. Ooh, I think you need 3 squirrels to take on a pig. Kerpa tried to do it with 2 and pays the price. But he might be able to finish it off. He needs another squirrel. It's so tempting, though. But the lizards are starting to come out here for Tosh. And he's going to be happy about that. These lizards can even chase down this squirrel if he liked, but Tosh is actually going to go very, very hard into lizards at this point. Nice little aggressive attempt from Kerpa. He did have Tosh in hot water for a minute there, but he got a little bit too ambitious and lost the fight against the pigs. If he would have waited just a little longer for one more squirrel, man, I think he would have been fine. Tosh throwing down this turret, it makes me feel like he's a little bit scared here of some kind of big continued aggression from Kerpa. Also, maybe he just wants to give himself a little bit more freedom to be running around with the lizards and have something on defense. Overall, if I had to be super nitpicky, I don't think the turret is really necessary here. These turrets for Kerpa make sense because he just felt like he was under aggression, but again, he should also try to sell those off once he kind of realizes the attack's over. It's kind of hard against lizards, man, because you're tempted to keep a couple turrets around because you know your opponent. Yeah, nice sell there. You know your opponent is going to want to try to come in at any angle they can, right? But if you're out on the map and you've just got one turret there, it's not really going to help against the lizards. Tosh decides to keep his turret, but he's also going for a very quick tier 3. And is Kerpa going to see it? I don't think so. He decides to scout the low ground. Oh, he does see it. Very nice. I'm interested how Kerpa's going to respond here. And he knows it's a boar as well. Sells off the turret, which makes sense. Okay, so he wants to try to just come in and attack right here, right now, before that boar gets up. And he does have quite a few more units, but the toads are coming out soon for Tosh. If he gets some really, really good connections against those lizards. And here we go. Oh, the lizards are just going to run in here, abandon the rest of the army, and get the deny on this tier 3. Nice pickup. Even no sale there for Tosh, so the extra 180 food definitely hurts. He gets his 180 food back from... I don't think he'd actually paid for the boar at that point yet anyways. Very nicely done by Kerpa. I feel like he probably lost quite a bit, in the rest of his army that kind of got left behind here as he got that knocked out, but mission accomplished. He did enough damage, and Tosh didn't try any kind of big counterattack, but as I say that, he looks like he might be thinking about moving out now, and I like this decision from Tosh. If he goes in now while he's got chameleons, while Kerpa's still trying to tech up to tier 2, he could be in a good spot. I also like that Kerpa teched out of the lizards now that they kind of got their job done of denying that tier 3 and didn't want to, lose very very decisively against Toads at a big engagement, right? But Tosh just runs over that army, man. Those Toads getting phenomenal connections on the squirrels. I think the move to make here is to build like 3 lizards if you're Kerpa, right? And try to trade your 3 lizards into their 6 Toads, ideally. But the tier 2 is starting to come out for Kerpa here. However, his economy is falling behind. We just hit the 5-minute mark, and Tosh has already got a second base that's got 3 farms almost completed on it. His economy is running sharp, and Kerpa has really got to secure this expansion at this point. Tosh did a great job attacking in earlier, denying that once. And, you know, Tosh is going to be looking to try to do that again. I wouldn't be surprised to see him move out after the second Chameleon finishes. And see if he can get something, get that deny again on that and put Kerpa's economy even far behind. I wouldn't even hate Kerpa taking this base, you know, at this point, just to stay so far off the front lines. But if he can secure this position, those bases later on are basically free for him. All right, Kerpa decides he's ready to go, and he moves out. Do the Toads connect? One Toad does get a decent hit. But other than that, Kerpa rolls over the army. Those Falcons were not target fired, and therefore put out a ton of DPS from the back. And these Skunks have been doing such a good job tanking, even both of them staying alive. All the tier 2 still alive here for Kerpa. That is absolutely enormous. And Kerpa smells blood in the water, man. He's looking to come in here, seal the deal, deal some crippling damage. That hero pig knocks out a Skunk. Ooh, barely denies that Toad from going down. Oh, that Falcon dies the turret fire. Kerpa desperately trying to keep the Skunk alive. Needs to be careful. His tier 2 is so low, but he's gotten enough damage onto Tosh at this point. He's in here. He's broken his back. He's on the last stronghold here, and I imagine Tosh will be tapping out very shortly. Very well played from Kerpa. Really cool usage of the lizards and knocking out that tier 3 Warren. That was kind of the risk that Tosh took. He was really hoping, he was gambling by placing it there in the first place that it wouldn't get scouted. Right? Because if he placed it here, it would be a little safer. But Kerpa probably still could have pulled off something like that, even if the tier 3 was placed a bit safer, because Kerpa could have still ran in here with lizards, right? And got in there, so. Tosh is going to stay in until his last breath, but this game is indeed over. So we shall fast forward a little bit so we can get to some more matches tonight. Okay, where are we at? Game number 4. Spotting on the left, we've got Misclicker and his opponent to the right, Lord Yope. Is it Yope? I feel like it's Yope, right? Am I saying that right? Looks like it'd be Yope. I don't think it'd be Jope. That doesn't make sense. Okay, so Fox from both players. Squirrel Toad, pretty standard stuff. Misclicker even rocking Squirrel Toad Pigeon, which is what I do a lot and have some good success with. But it is good, but you're giving up things to do that, you know. Investing 3 tier 1 positions. Is it Jope? Is it really Jope with a J? I have no idea, man. I might have to ask Google. Get the Google translator going. But yeah, I mean, this map is okay. It's a little bit hard for Misclicker because there's no ramp right here. So yeah, he does have like a second base that's pretty close to him, but he's gonna have to run all the way around. Which if he can kind of just focus on claiming this area, won't be too much of a pain. But it's still gonna be difficult. And meanwhile, it's Iris. Is it Iris? I don't know, man. People change their names all the time. I'm gonna call him Jope. But what was I saying? So yeah, I mean, Jope's spawn is definitely better. He's got access to the second base here. He's got access to a third base, and you know, up on this high ground. I think both players have that going for them. So what's kind of interesting about both players' spawn is either player could have opted to go for a fast Fox Rush here, but instead they're going for the more standard, 8 farm, build a couple tier 1s, get out to tier 2, and sorry, I'm reading the chat, guys, getting distracted. And as this is panning out, Licker's putting together a stronger composition from the get-go, right? Like, he's gonna have the Toads to connect in on the tier 1, and Falcon's gonna beat Ferrets in a straight-up fight. The goal of the Ferret player is to really get a lot of damage done over time. Really what Jope wants to do here is, take one of these gristmills, extend out his territory, throw down a couple turrets, and then let the Ferrets kind of come in and poke and retreat back to the turret line. And that also synergizes really, really well with the Fox. That's one of my favorite playstyles. I think Ferret Fox turret has a nice, pretty powerful interaction. And both players are securing campfires. Jope got his a little bit faster than Licker's. And I love this out of Licker, man. I mean, it is risky, but at the same time, it isn't. Like, it's going to be hard for Jope to really continue to constantly scout the map. Like, he didn't get the entire lay of the land, which, it's a little bit to the point in the game where it's going to be more and more difficult to do so. So he may or may not ever really even go down here and find that campfire to begin with, right? Because he's going to have to focus his attention on pushing this front. The chat's arguing about whether or not this is actually Jope or if it's Iris pretending to be Jope. Could be either one, man. Licker getting that Fox. I don't think Jope knows about it, which is half the battle, man. Tier 3 really needs to be scouted. Jope is just going to go for it, though, and this could work out in his favor. Anyways, he's going to try to get some good Toad connections there. Overall, the Toads just kind of traded with one another, and I think this Licker actually got the better end of that. Let me check my instant replay. Yeah, it looks like it. Just because he got a lot of AoE done onto the other tier 1 as his Toads hit, where Jope's Toads are mainly just trading with Licker's Toads and not doing a lot of splash to other units. I use the instant replay while streaming too, says Licker. You know what I'm talking about, man. Okay, Licker taking an expansion. Now, the real story here is the Fox, and Jope doesn't have anything to deal with the Fox. He doesn't even know that it's coming. He's got his own Fox. He's got turrets, so he does have answers in his deck. But knowledge is really the majority of the battle, man. Like, if he would have scouted that Warren right after Licker placed it, he could have tried to get his own Fox. Now it's too late. He's got to get some turrets down, but Licker even takes a better end of this engagement, which is huge for him, as he's also got the Fox almost here. Jope really, really needed to win that hard to make up for the fact that his opponent has a tier 3 and he doesn't. And the Fox still hasn't been shown yet for Licker. And here he goes. First shot is fired. And gonna start moving in, poking and prodding on his opponent's army. Ooh, those Toads. One of them dies, but another one gets a connection. Toads just trading back and forth. The Fox is still alive, however. But Jope has the better army. You kind of find yourself in these kind of positions when you have the Fox. Oh, needs to be careful. I thought that Ferret hit was definitely going to land. Fox getting very, very low on HP. Gonna have to back it up. And this is kind of the hardest part of being the Fox players, because your opponent is going to have a bigger army in these situations. You just kind of have to bob and weave and take advantage of any indecisiveness of your opponent and try to get as many kills as you can. Yeah, now the turrets are coming out for Jope. I would even hate to see these turrets like right up on his line. If Jope can just power up, he's got a much better economy. Get these turrets a little bit more far forward, get his own Fox cooking, he can be in great shape. Yeah, I would put 3 turrets probably right on the edge of the territory. Not to be super nitpicky. Like, these are definitely good turrets. I just feel like Jope could stretch out with them a little bit more. And that third turret was delayed, and Licker was not going to let him just place that down right in front of him. Licker really doesn't want Job to get turrets at this point, right? That's denying his Fox, and now he's came in here. He's carved a hole in the defense. Although the turrets are starting to pick up a few reinforcing tier 1 units. So Liquor needs to be careful about that with his rally. Here we go. Job is going hard now, man. The Liquor already got some really good damage done with this Fox. He killed, what, 3 pigs? I mean, that's beautiful. On top of a lot of tier 1. Job finally throwing down his own Fox. Ooh, and Liquor, the way that he's running around, might actually get the scout off on that. He's going really deep into Job's space, but doesn't see the tier 3 Warren, right? I'm not crazy. Yeah, okay. Finds an angle to get some more kills. Very nice. And Job is starting to get into a world of hurt. Liquor needs to be careful, though. Okay, he's going to get out. He was almost in a position where Job could have boxed him in there. Dude, I love this Fox skin, man. Alright, moving in here for a big attack is Liquor. He's gonna pull out, though. He doesn't think he's got quite enough just yet. And this Fox is gonna be here pretty quickly for Job or Iris or whoever this is. I mean, what, maybe 30-ish seconds left on that Fox, so that's gonna give Job a much better opportunity to get something done in a head-on engagement. If you're maybe new or not familiar with Fox Wars and Tooth and Tail, basically one Fox will hit another Fox and take it down to 1 HP, so a hit from anything else will knock it out. And it can get pretty tactical, because if you're target firing with your Fox, you can't be trying to keep it safe with micros, so you kind of got to pick one or the other. So we'll see how these guys want to take it. Job has the Fox now. Liquor is about to find out that it's starting to get a bit evened up. And if you look at the graphs, I mean, Job's army is a little bit ahead, but his economy is really starting to hurt. I mean, keep in mind that Liquor got a ton of damage done with that Fox earlier on, killing off maybe 5 or 6 farms, killing off a lot of tier 1, forcing a lot of turrets. And that's another huge thing. You know, if you force your opponent to make defense and you don't have to make defense, then you're just going to get more ahead with a bigger army, with a bigger economy. Oh, I think, yeah, very nice there from Liquor. Job getting a bit too bold with his Fox, man. He runs in, knocks out a tier 1. Liquor's Fox gets the hit on, and then on the retreat, Liquor gets that hit number 2. And takes out Job's Fox, but he's gonna try again, as another Fox is in production. Final destination Fox vs. Fox incoming, right? Oh man, Super Smash Bros. Melee is so fun, man. I have a whole bunch of old consoles from when I was a kid, and I got into collecting antique games a little bit. So I've got a GameCube in Super Smash Bros. Melee. It's a nice party game. Ooh, he needs to be careful. Job's kind of boxing him in a little bit. Moves the squirrels back for the time being, though. Nice try there from Job. It only cost him a couple squirrels to possibly box that Fox in. And meanwhile, Miss Liquor has, eaten up most of the rest of the map. Keep that in mind as well. But Job coming in. Now he gets that first shot. Looking for that second shot. Is he going to get it in time? He gets it. Barely. Very nice pickup for Job. And Liquor is just going to take the engagement. See if he can make it happen. Definitely not Job confirmed. This is an Iris. Ah, all right. It doesn't matter, you guys. I'll call him Iris. All right. Iris coming in with the Fox. This is going to be rough for Liquor, but if he can get these chameleons maybe in the right spot, one of them getting sniped out, though, that's not going to help. And Iris is on point with his Fox micro thus far. Liquor's about to get his own Fox back up, though, and Iris's Fox is not at full HP. If he could just get the one shot off. Where's the Fox coming from? Oh my god. It's on the way. I would just YOLO in there, man, and try to get on top of that Fox with the commander. Call him Joris. Dude, I should call him Joris. Oh man, I was so hyped. I thought the fox was coming up from this direction for some reason. So Liquor could have, if it was that case, then he could have got on top of Joris's fox on the high ground, right? And just got that snipe off. Ooh, nice hit there for Joris. Nice return fire from Liquor though, and Joris does not have any pigeons. So it's really gonna matter these hits, as Liquor's fox is already back up to full HP. Yeah, I would go for it, man. Liquor can get in there. He knocks the fox out. That's probably too much damage. And I think Joris is going to have to GG out. Well played. Rip Joris indeed. All right. Match number 5, guys. Okay, spawning on the bottom, we've got Premium Bow and Premium Bow Ring. And their opponents up top, Milk Toast and Maximum. Alright, Milk Toast. He's the MVP this game, man. Playing the silly deck, going Fox, all defense. His buddy Maximum kind of keeping a bit more real. And Premium Bow with the 4 farm toads, man. Let's see it. How many toads is it to kill a pig? Probably 3, right? Oh, he sells it off. Man, how are you going to tease me like that? Break my heart. First he giveth, then he taketh away. He's gonna... Oh, okay. You're making up for it. 4 farm... Oh, my God. Really? Okay. You brought it back. You brought it back. The 4 farm wolf fox here. I'm interested. Maximum, though, could throw a wrench into this. He's just going to straight up 8 farm regular style, and if he throws down a lot of tier 1 and pushes in, this could be trouble for the premium team here. But Bow Ring's not messing around, already getting some squirrels going. Premium Bow floating some money. Oh, yeah, that's right. For 4 farm Fox, I don't know if it still works like this. I don't see why it wouldn't, but it's like if you don't spend any money, you'll have basically exactly 180 to build it, as you can see here. So boom, that Fox is already going. Premium Bow Ring just building that other stuff for defense if needed, sells that off. Let's also get his wolf out ASAP. Ooh, mine's coming down for Milk Toast though. However, Premium Bow Ring does see them, so they are aware. Yeah, could you imagine if a few mines just blew up the Fox? Like, the Fox is about to get boosted up by the wolf, right? And just haul ass out here and start wrecking on nerds. But just 3 mines! Like, if Milk Toast put 1 mine in between those. Even a turret's probably better. In Premium Bow, not even building farms here, trying to get a skunk. I'm surprised they haven't been attacked yet. Yeah, Maximum looking to... They're not necessarily looking to put on pressure, but they're just kind of shoulder checking their opponents. They're just coming in to say hi and make sure everything's normal. And they're going to realize it is indeed not normal, as Wolf Fox is here. Now the Fox is buffed up, and it's just going to start taking out units so quickly. Oh, these mines though. 1 mine goes off. The Fox does have healing with these pigeons here. Damn, just a wolf buff Fox. Knocks out that commander so fast, and oh my God. Are you serious? Dude, this is amazing. I gotta play 2v2 more. This is my kind of game. Oh, the Fox though. Maximum really should have chased there. He might have been able to take out this Fox if he would have chased with those lizards. The Fox is gonna win. Mission accomplished. Gonna come home to a parade. Ooh, Whoop needs to be careful trying to get in there and tank a little bit. Man, this buffed up Fox is just doing so much work though. Holy guacamole, you guys. Alright, they do have normal units too. I had to double check that. Premium Bow without any squirrels or lizards, because who needs squirrels and lizards, you know what I'm saying? You don't with premium strategies here. But they do have units. Premium Bow Ring does have the squirrels, so they have things and stuff that can get through these defenses eventually, even ferrets. Oh man, this is a good game. A little bit of tooth and tail artwork for you guys. The 4-farm fox wolf strategy. Yellow kinda is coming back a little bit though. He didn't mess around. He got all of his farms up and running again besides his second base stuff. And Red is hanging in there. He's spending his money. He's building, you know, units and whatnot. But I think really the answer to this kind of thing is probably just straight up lizards, right? At least in the early game, until you can get to stuff like a lot of defense up and a lot of owls and whatnot. The lizards will really give you the opportunity to chase this fox, but I guess when the fox is, you know, got double swift basically, they'll even outrun the lizards. Ooh, Mole's trying to tank those balloon shots a little bit there. I don't even know what to say about this game anymore, you guys. I think our blue and green player did it here. As long as this fox doesn't go down, it is just dealing so much damage with that wolf buff constantly on it. And if blue and green really wanted to seal the deal in this game, they could get some ferrets put together and really push in the siege. But lots of defense finally getting set up from yellow and red here. And their saving grace is that this really is the main attack path. So if they can kind of secure this position, you know, they have access to 4 bases here. And the 5th base if they can kind of creep out. But even still, this is not an advantageous split for them. The majority of the gristmills on the map will go to green and blue. Which is kind of a nice consolation prize. I mean, I think the goal of this strategy is just try to win, you know, with some silly stuff. But they still manage to claim a lot of map control. And if this game does end up going longer, they are going to have a few more gristmills over their opponents. Ooh, this fox taking some balloon hits, but it's going to survive for now. So many pigeons to heal it up. This wolf also doing a really good job at tanking. That forward balloon right here that's about half HP is a real pain for blue and green. They would love to knock that thing down, but they really just don't have the units to do it, man. Premium Bow Ring, 24 pigeons. It's amazing. The goal of the strategy is to try to win Delthius 2018. I know, man. I'm like the best caster ever, you guys. I probably should have said win right now. I should just start saying that all the time. Like, alright, what the player's really trying to do here is win the game and acquire ladder points to increase his global ranking. And in the event of the player losing, we'll whine in Discord about Unit X being imba. Ooh, the mole taking those mine hits. I think that was good. It was either 3 or 4 mines. Yeah, 3. Yeah, it was 3 mines, so not terrible. So many deep insights. Man, what deep insights do you want from me here, you guys? What is going on? Oh my lord. Lordy lordy. Sold off all the pigeons. Gonna try to get up to 16 ferrets. We're gonna see some buffed up ferrets here. That's gonna be amazing. The wolf and fox still alive, which is very nice. This balloon is really saving yellow and red, I feel like. This forward balloon allows them to take that 5th base and really apply additional pressure here. I mean, this artillery cannon's got a longer range than it does vision. So that balloon's just giving it all the vision it needs to have, you know, a huge zone of fire here. And also this prevents Premium Bow from really being able to saturate up this base any further. But lots of ferrets are on the way here. And this isn't the end of the world because there are other bases accessible here for blue and green. The ferrets shell down that expansion attempt, no problem. Is he actually going to get out 16 ferrets? It's one thing to throw down 8 warrens, you know, but to get the ferrets, he's got them all paid for, at least to get to 16. Oh, is he going to sneak around all the way over here and bop him? Ooh, nice little counter aggression here from those chameleons. I'd love to see green hit that bottom at the same time. It looks like he's on the way if you look at the mini-map. There's a little bit of barbed wire over here in the way, however. Nice job. Pincer attack here from the premium team. And these chameleons are going to stand their ground. I mean, there's a turret here. There's a ferret. That toad got some very nice... there's a fox, rather. The toad got some really nice connections in that little choke point, but not enough follow-up damage. And look at this. Premium Bowring just sneaking around the edges with his ferrets. Wonderful pincer attack to kind of make the opponents panic, you know, and not quite respond correctly. And they end up stealing the deal. You think 16 ferrets is a sign of a troubled childhood? Oh, man. Where are we at, you guys? Game number 6. Let's hop into it. Okay, spawning on the bottom, we've got Mana Shrimp. And his opponent up top, Red Dinosaur. Alright, this is pretty cool. There's a lot of conflicting styles in these deck compositions, which I think is going to make for a really interesting match here. Obviously, Owl versus Fox. We've got Squirrel Pigeon, Toad Skunk versus Squizzard, essentially. With chameleons or ferrets, depending. Red Dino's got a lot of options in his tier 2. Something like, you know, maybe planning on going for a chameleon if the game just kind of naturally progresses into that, you know, early to mid game with a lot of tier 1 and a bit of tier 2. He might have the ferrets as a just in case unit, but ferrets are also really good at being your first tier 2 selection. You know, I feel like 8 farm 2 tier 1 into ferret is pretty strong with some good micro and, you know, good control, maybe a turret in the right spot. And falcons are always nice later on to round out the composition. I especially like them with the fox because the fox is not going to have an amazing late game, right? So the falcons can kind of step in and secure you having, you know, something to add a little bit more power to that late game composition. Nice little attack here, though, from Red Dino. I should probably be more commenting on this game rather than the deck selection, as Red Dino opened up with a 5-farm double here and is starting to get in on top of Mana Shrimp. Knocks out one Warren, loses several lizards to do it, but he gets a couple of them out of there, which will heal up very, very quickly. This really showcases the importance of that follow-up scout in the early game, as, you know, Mana Shrimp did the first scout where he found his opponent, and just kind of assumed, because most players do, like, hey, he went 8 farms, and Red Dino, you know, actually went 5-farm triple Warren. So therefore, he gets some damage done. But Mana Shrimp has had his farms up and running for quite some time, so some high-level players argue if it was even worth it. You know, it kind of takes some analysis there, indeed, to really figure out, you know, pound for pound, buck for buck, you know, who's really in front here. But Red Dino did get some damage done. He killed a Warren. He traded rather effectively. And this trade right here is going to be phenomenal for Red Dino. As long as he keeps his target fire up, he doesn't want his lizards wasting DPS on this Grismo. Yeah, I mean, he got the Warren, he got several kills, and he got the pig, right? So I think it might have been worth it. The only thing that is a little bit makes me worried for Red Dino here is that he hasn't taken that 8th farm even still. To continue this aggression. I think he overextended a little bit there. I think that first hit obviously was good where he traded out with the squirrels, but he needed to get back and queue up that farm afterwards. Now the farm does go down, so not the end of the world. Was that a meow I just heard? It might have been. I do have 2 cats around here. Alright, Mana Shrimp looking for some counter aggression. He's got toads, which can do very, very well against lizards. He realizes, though, that Red Dino very smartly is wanting to go just for a base trade situation, as Red Dino understands that the toads can do very good against his lizards, right? But Red Dino doesn't feel like he's got quite enough lizards which I think 9, you know, I've heard high-level players say you want more like 12 to really be able to take out that Gristmill. So instead he just comes in, gets some damage done, and delays this push until he can get up to some squirrels. That was a very nice play from Red Dino. And now it's going to be difficult for Mana Shrimp to have the confidence to move out again, right? I mean, Mana Shrimp was all the way in Red Dino's base, essentially, and just got punished very, very hard for it. But here we go, man. Fooled me once, shame on you. Fooled me twice, shame on me, right? Let's see if Mana Shrimp gets fooled twice here as the lizards come in again, and Mana Shrimp's units aren't in position. Oh, and his commander is moving out and about too to scout. That is very unfortunate for him as Red Dino enters the back door and is just going to do a ton of damage here with all these lizards and probably be able to get most of these out and get back home to Mama Lizard. No problem. Actually, this ledge is going to be nice. These squirrels will be able to get some pop shots down, kill a few lizards on their retreat. But overall, another very successful attack there from Red Dino. Now, Mana Shrimp does have a fully saturated second base going, so keep that in mind, guys. Like, yeah, he's taking a lot of damage, but Red Dino, since he's been so aggressive, really like this Fox play on the back of it, by the way. You know, he doesn't have that economy going, so Mana Shrimp could pull ahead in this game. As you can see, we hit the 5-minute mark recently, so Red Dino's economy is sliced in half here. And Mana Shrimp, the one thing that kind of sucks for Mana Shrimp, though, is that he doesn't really want to rebuild these farms. I mean, maybe if you really look at the wheat, you could argue 1 or 2, perhaps, would be worth it, but like, it's rough to lose a farm, but it's even more rough to lose a farm when it doesn't make sense to retake it, right, for your return on investment. And, hey, Frog in the chat. What's up, man? Good to see you. But Red Dino, by going for this Fox, he's really taken a gamble. Because instead of the Fox, he could have had, you know, 6 more farms right here, right? So that means he could have been approaching a very, very healthy economy. So he's going to say, no, man, I'm going to get my economy a little bit later, and I'm going to try to get in there and do a lot of damage with the Fox. Now, the Fox was scouted by Mana Shrimp, but Mana Shrimp doesn't have any defensive structures, unfortunately, and most defensive structures do a phenomenal job at zoning back the Fox. Now, he does have the Owl, but even still, 1 or 2 Owls is not that great against the Fox. Really, 2 Owls probably is okay, but just a single Owl, the Fox can win that matchup. So we'll see, man. Red Dino's Fox is about to spawn, and I think he needs to move out right here, right now. He has been able to sneak in enough farms. I'd even like to see him queue up one. I would even queue down another, but no, he's going to move out, which makes sense, I guess. Leave a little money in the bank for the units that he's going to have to reproduce here shortly. And he's going to start this aggression with the Fox. And this is really rough for Mana Shrimp. I think he's just got a hard engage here. But he wants to wait on this Owl. But the problem is, if he doesn't have the defensive structures to zone back the Fox, so if every second that he's not hard engaging, he's taking more and more damage. Like, the only way for him to zone this Fox back is to really, really commit to a big attack. And he tries to go in there for it, but nice control from Red Dino there. Knocks out that Owl. And Mana Shrimp is clearing up the rest of what's on the board, and he's going to try to move in on this Fox. But as long as Red Dino's got some good micro on the retreat, especially with Mana Shrimp's commander going down, it could have been close there. If Mana Shrimp's commander lived, he might have been able to box in this Fox at such low HP. All he needed was a couple more hits. So the commander going down is super, super bad for him. Very nice there for Red Dino, however, as he's going to keep this aggression on. And Mana Shrimp is really hard targeting that Fox, forcing some of his units to run by Red Dino's army and die for free. Mana Shrimp decides he's taking enough damage and taps out. Pretty crazy game. That Owl death, yeah. A little bit of miscontrol there from Mana Shrimp, allowing that Owl to fly forward and die. But it can be hard, man. It happens. I'm not that great at that sort of thing personally. Match number 7, guys. All right, spawning on the bottom, we've got Pile. And his opponent to the left, Cold Warp Gates. Man, look at this map. This map is crazy for Cold Warp Gates. He's gonna be nice and tucked in for a minute, but really doesn't have a whole lot of room to build Warrens here. So he's gonna have to spread out on this map eventually. In this high ground around Pyle's base is gonna make taking this this second base here for Cold Warp Gates very difficult. I'd probably argue that this really isn't. You really couldn't even consider this a second base for Cold Warp Gates here, because Pyle is indeed one of the top Tooth and Tail players, so he's gonna know just how to get in here and really abuse this cliff with his units and really punish that. I mean, Cold Warp Gates could take it if you really want to, dig deep into it. If he can establish this area and take control of this area himself, then he can get that second base. But I think it's easier for Pyle to deny Cold Warp Gates from gaining this position than it is for Cold Warp Gates to really muscle out here and acquire that, if that makes sense. And meanwhile, Pyle can expand kind of towards the east relatively easily. Nice little second base here. Third base that's a little bit out on the map, but nothing super crazy. So yeah, I mean, looking up this straight up, this looks a little bit rough for Cold Warp Gates on the map itself. Just not a whole lot of room to even place Warrens. A second base is going to be difficult to take. He can take this 12 o'clock, but that can be punished fairly easy. And Pyle here going for the fast tier 2 rush or tier 3 rush build, going straight into that owl. Let's see if Cold Warp Gates scouts this out. Very important scout right here. This is about as greedy as you can safely get a tier 3. This is how I get up my fast fox. 8 farm, 2 tier 1. Then you can put down a tier 3 and 2 more tier 1. Yep, just exactly like this. This is indeed the fast. I think this is a really polished fast tier 3 build, because now Pyle can just run around on the map and he doesn't have to spend any more money, and he can try to kind of keep an eye on whether or not his opponent moves out. If his opponent moves out, he can throw down some turrets and a clutch to make sure he's okay, but if he doesn't move out, then he'll have exactly enough money. Pyle decides to take that gristmill, which is fine, but it's going to delay. Oh, okay, that's really cool. So that's a nice little variant. So he's actually just going to downgrade on some tier 1 to be able to afford the owl, be able to afford the gristmill, and afford some snakes. I think that's actually a really smart improvement to this build if you detect that your opponent is not going for aggression. And Pyle did indeed detect that as he saw the Badger coming out from Cold Warp Gates. Now, the Badger, when it hits the field, pound for pound, Warp Gates is going to have a better army here. Especially if Pyle is messing around, getting the second base going, and things of that nature. The Snake is going to do well against the Badger, but with the Pigeons here, I feel like Warp Gates has a good opportunity to come shove in here and try to catch Pyle while he's trying to get his second base, and while he's trying to get established, and kind of win in the Badger versus Owl matchup. All right, the Badger's here, and I think Cold Warp Gates really needs to move out right here, right now. If he gives Pyle the breathing room, he's going to put together enough snakes. This better economy for Pyle is going to shift from risk to reward, and, Pyle is such a phenomenal player. He'll probably know how to navigate the game to a victory from there. I think this is definitely the correct play from Cold Warp Gates to try to push in and say, you know what, my army composition's got the advantage over his army composition for the moment. So let me try to strike in and really get the damage done right here, right now. Ooh, Pyle getting a little bit of snake poison onto this Badger, but it's got some pigeons to heal it up. Needs to be careful trying to move the Badger back to the territory to help mitigate against that poison damage. A nice deflection there from Pyle. It's exactly what Pyle needed. He held that very well, and now his economy is very far in the lead. He's got plenty of snakes. He's feeling confident. He's going to try to put the aggression on the Cold Warp Gates side of the map, move in here, and keep Cold Warp Gates' army to a minimum. Obviously, he'd like to get the Badger, but he doesn't necessarily have to kill the Badger. Really, Pyle just needs to trade evenly at this moment to get more and more ahead. I mean, due to just his superior economy, right? Blah. We gotta wait for one. He just threw up. There it is. Blah. Blah. Yeah, now Pile's in a great spot. Like, I think Warp Gates did the right thing. I'm really impressed that Pile held that attack so well. And now Pile's in a dominating position. Now, Warp Gates might catch Pile out of position here. This would be huge if he attacks in right now. Pile's army is on the other side of his base. And Warp Gates has some time to get in here and deal whatever damage he can. It looks like he'll take out this Gristmill, most of these structures. Very nicely done there from Warp Gates, just keeping an eye on his opponent as often as he can and just finding an opportunity, a little window to strike where he can maybe take a good trade here. Needs to be careful, so much stake poison going on to the Badger. It goes down. Pile loses his Owl, but Pile wins the rest of that attack, very handily. What's the engagement, I should say. The snakes are a great pick here from Pile. They're really doing their job. I actually like Pile's deck a lot. Like, he's got Owl Wolf to just have a supreme late game. Squirrel Pigeon because they're just nice in the early game against a variety of different stuff, and snakes are fantastic against tier 2, against tier 3. Now Pile's got a lot of momentum, striking in on Warp Gates. I think this might be too much damage. Pile takes a game, but very nice try from Cold Warp Gates, going up against one of the stronger players in the scene. Okay, guys, really super fast, tiny little mini break. I'm not even gonna go to break screen. I just need to grab a drink. I will be right back. Alright, you guys, I'm back. How's it going, everybody? I hope everybody has enjoyed the show tonight. It's always a pleasure hanging out with all you guys. Let's keep this party moving. Let me do little things on my end real quick. Alright, there we go. Match number 8. Okay, spawning to the top left, we've got March Faster. And his opponent to the right, Miscellaneous Liquor. So, Owl versus Fox. Squirrel. This is interesting, man. Squirrel Toad Pigeon is getting more and more popular. I've been using Squirrel Toad Pigeon for a while now. I think it's a very strong combination. It's just hard to do because then you can't fit other things into your deck. Like, one of my favorite decks to run right now is Squirrel, Toad, Pigeon, Ferret, Fox, Turret. But what's the weakness of that deck, right? I don't really have tier 2. Like, I've got Ferret for that Fox, Ferret, Turret synergy, but that's about it. And these players are opting to drop that defense rather than drop a tier 2 here. Both players opening up 6 farm Warrens doesn't necessarily mean aggression, but let's see. March Faster rather, looks like he wants to get this party started. Going up to his 6 farm double. Now, I don't think he scouted yet, right? No, he did scout the 6 farm Warren from Misclicker, so I think this is tough. I mean, with the squirrels being queued, I don't think it's correct here from March Faster to queue the farm and delay the squirrel production if he's looking to move out as quickly as he can. Overall, I think Liquor should be fine. The toads are interesting. I don't know if it's, I think, instinctually I want to say it would be better to have 6 squirrels and 3 squirrels, 3 toads, but I could be wrong. And March Faster takes his campfire as well. Gets his economy boosted. So that's going to help him deal with that little bit of victory that Misclicker got in the build order in the beginning. Nice ledge, though. Very, very abusive. Gets a squirrel for free. And just going to say, hey, man, I'm good with that trade. backs out and gonna advance into ferrets. One time his pigeons kept healing the toads, so they blew up, so you couldn't micro them down. Ooh, yeah. That can be deadly. Man, this ledge is so brutal. Like, Looker's lucky that this isn't very wide right here. Like, imagine if this level of terrain, like, if it stretched all the way out, you know? That'd be much more gruesome to deal with. But I like this. I think it's important. You know, in Tooth and Tail, a big part of the game and the strategy is adapting to the map and trying to abuse it in any way possible, right? So this is going to be wonderful for March Faster now that he has the ferrets to just sit here and siege down on Miss Looker. And this is very unfortunate for him. He's just going to have to pull the trigger. And look at how far he's got to walk around here. It's going to come down to toad connections here. The toad's going off on the chameleons. You know, it really tanked very well there with some pigeons healing them, and Miss Clicker takes a great engagement. Chameleon even staying alive. Very nicely done. Alright. Licker looking for some counter aggression, but March Faster is just going to try to keep the pressure on. I think this is the right play from Licker. Well, it's kind of weird because, oh wait, is he just going to go for it? Yeah, that makes sense. If this campfire wasn't here, Licker would have just won the game right then and right there. But he sacrificed his army to knock out that gristmill, which is still huge. But March Faster has an opportunity right here, right now, where he's got a little bit of a better army to come in here, especially if Licker's army is not re-rallying together correctly. He's losing units, you know, before they can gain that critical mass where they're very effective. He snuck out a couple units over to the side, but now March Faster is moving in. And certainly, yeah, he never scouted that campfire. Unfortunate there for Licker, because he thought he was about to win the game. But nice game sense from March Faster, I feel like, to now Licker's going to scout this campfire. Is he going to be able to get over there in time? I think March Faster played this 100% correctly, though. You know, after your opponent really dives in on you like that, you've just got such a nice window where you've got the stronger army to come in for a counter. Knocks that out, but units are starting to get over to the campfire here. It's now a race. March Faster's got to knock out this other gristmill, but he doesn't know where it is. So instead, he's going to try to defend his campfire. Are his units going to get here in time? That chameleon is DPSing it down so fast. And Miss Clicker is going to take the game. Damn. That chameleon just beat the devil out of that campfire. Dude, I've been watching Bob Ross a lot on Netflix because he's amazing. You like clean his brush and just like whack it really, just beat the devil out of it. All right, where are we at? Game number 9. Let's hop into it. Okay. Spotting at the bottom, we've got Amistria. And her opponent up top, Tarn. That Bob Ross Twitchy mode is so good, man. It's just a relaxing thing, you know, like, I work a lot, man, so some days after work, I just want to relax. You know, not even, I'll play like a little stupid game on my phone or something in bed and just have Bob Ross on in the background. Really puts you in a good mood, man. Alright, let's see if these players go for anything crazy in the early game. Amistria going for her trademark barbed wire here, which is really cool to see, man. We're seeing more and more use of it. In the past couple episodes, we've seen Amistria really win some games off the back of some really clutch barbed wire placement. Oh, Tarn, though. He gets the turret down. Amistria sniffs this out a little bit and tries to get a scroll warren up, and oh, wow. Tarn sells off the turret. Interesting. Was it taking too much damage from the pigs? Yeah, it looks like they were. Watching my instant replay here. And I think Amistria is going to be A-okay here. That barbed wire actually tanking for that squirrel a little bit there. That was really cool. Oh, man, it was almost enough. This last squirrel, man, it can get out here. Is it going to be the hero? Trying to tank with that barbed wire. Is it going to get it? Just barely gets that turret. I'm telling you, man, really cool usage of barbed wire coming out from Amistria the past couple weeks. But the follow-up with Lizards here could be deadly. Keep in mind, Tarn is only on 5 farms, just now trying to get out the 6th farm. He invested in a turret back at home to be safe. Do I agree that all units are viable and high level except for artillery cannon? Yeah, I think so. I think mines, barbed wire, and artillery are probably the weakest units, but not by a whole lot. I mean, we saw the gentleman utilizing artillery cannon very effectively the other day, but I do agree compared to balloons or turrets. The turret kind of sets, like, it's interesting, like the squirrel is like this, I've probably ranted on about this before, but the squirrel's kind of your baseline, you know, that's your C average, man. That's what everything needs to be balanced to. You know, when you design other units, you have to say, okay, how is this unit better than 3 squirrels? Or is it worse than 3 squirrels? And maybe if it is worse than 3 squirrels, why? Oh, because it has extra range, like a ferret or something like that. So when you're judging a unit like the artillery cannon, the baseline is kind of the turret, right? Where you got to say, how is the artillery cannon better than 3 turrets? Nice lizards, though, coming in here from Tarn and taking out these squirrels. Again, Amistria trying to build these barbed wire during the fight to try to soak some damage and get in a nice position. Now these barbed wire are going to do some great damage to the reinforcing units of Tarn and secure Amistria a couple extra kills there. Yeah, mines are still good. I don't want to... Like, I feel like the game is very balanced at the moment. Like, I think artillery cannon it is pretty safe to say it's a little bit weak. And I think mines and barbed wire are pretty conditional, but I don't know if it's even correct to say they're weak. They're just kind of dependent. Like, if you're expecting mines and they can lose some of their power. Amistria is just going really hard here, though. A little bit of an overextension, trying to break Tarn immediately. But as I say that, man, I don't want to give away, call out specific players too often and give away strategies and stuff, but I went up against a high-level player who went for, like, a squirrel, pigeon, skunk, mole, mine push, man. Like, that is so hard to deal with. I mean, it's a huge investment on your deck. Is Amistria AFK or something? Her units are just constantly rallying. Broken replay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I see it now, guys. I was just talking about unit balance. My bad. Oh my god. Yeah, Tarn probably quit out. Amistria took it. Dude, the chat, you should have told me, man. You should have just let me keep going. It made even more of a fool out of myself. I was starting to notice, though. I just got going on a rant about unit balance and wasn't paying super close attention. I apologize. I saw something was up at first. I just thought Amistria overextended. I was like, oh wait, they're still going, huh? Anyways, guys, match number 10. All right, spawning on the left, we've got Bonk. And his opponent to the right, Sean Roberts. Does anyone ever say Scene? Everyone says Sean, right? Pretty sure everybody says Sean. Always blame P-Boop. P-Boop's number 1, man. Don't blame P-Boop. Like, I know it's Sean. I'm not looking for clarification on that, but I'm just thinking about if anybody, like, it's not Sean, it's Scene. Probably some, like, hipster guy, like with, like, a cafe mocha from a local coffee shop. Not Starbucks, because he doesn't want to give in to the corporate overlords. He's reading, something like Aldous Huxley with a scarf on. Yeah, my name's Scene Roberts. Ladder reset would be fun, I agree. I mentioned that in general chat once, though. A pile was like, dude, just lose all your points. You know, just throw a bunch of games. Or you don't even have to throw, you can just do crazy stuff. Like, be like, I wonder if I could make a barbed wire boar rush work or something. And just lose a bunch of points. And you can have your own little personal ladder reset. We've seen a lot of aggression today, though, as Bonk is moving in with a 5-farm double lizard attack. Barbed wire boar rush, hell yeah. The lizards move in. And they're gonna get some damage done. And again, I don't think Sean... No, Sean did scout this. I wasn't paying super close attention, though, to be honest, on what his response was. But the textbook response is something like this. You know, you see your opponent going for a 5-farm double. I think you want to do something like a 5-farm Warren, 6-farm Warren, something like that, and try to get up to 6-farm double. Sean wanted to put in some counter aggression, but Bonk still has quite a few lizards here. Moving in for the kill. I like this a lot because Bonk typically opens up with some kind of safe Warrens, and he's been mixing more and more aggression into it, which I like it. You know, it's one of those things, if you're, like, even if you're just going 5-farm Warren as a safe opening, depending on the map, geometry, and a couple of various factors, I mean, it's probably a good idea to just march over there and say hi with your units. You know, maybe you pick off a tier 1. You don't have to hard commit. You just kind of shoulder check, as I say, you know. I think that's really strong with, like, the squirrel, skunk, pigeon opening. You know, just kind of walk over their base, you know, around 3-4 minutes whenever you get your act together. And you don't have to hard engage if they have something comparable, but if they're going for something crazy, then you very well just might end the game. And here comes Bonk, man. He's going to want to try to lure Sean out of his base, which the squirrels are already a little bit out of their base, so Bonk is starting to get some value already with these skunks. Ooh, that's super brutal for Sean. Loses a couple squirrels, a couple more getting injured. But Bonk doesn't really want to fight Sean if he's packed in. This is exactly what Bonk wants. These squirrels are moving out into the field. That's exactly where these lizards want to take the fight. And decent targeting there from Sean. He does manage to kill a skunk. Those lizards go down, and both players back off for now. Okay, Bonk taking that second base, but Sean's second base is already ahead of him, and Sean's going to go for this boar. Now, if he can get the boar out, it's going to be very, very strong against what we see out of Bonk here. But it's going to be easier said than done, as Bonk does have lizards. Now, this water here makes it a little bit easier. I was going to say, I was worried Bonk might be able to swing in like this, you know, and take that out. Or where these squirrels are kind of prevents this top attack, you know, as we saw earlier tonight. With that clutch lizard snipe on the tier 3, man, it can make a huge, huge difference. Well, Bonk's going to try to move out again. He needs some good skunk control here, some good skunk damage to make this attack really work. Sean should put down some barbed wire to complement that boar. That's what I'm saying, man. Shady Noodle Merchant gets it, dude. Very nice attack here from Bonk, though. He's going to move forward. What is up with this tier 3 placement? Oh, Sean Roberts. He's probably a beginner, guys. Aggressive boar warren. All right, man. You get to see that I keep on to say rainbow boar. It's a unicorn boar, man. Dude, look at that flamethrower. Like, that is so amazing. Oh, but with all these falcons here, it's exactly what you want to combat the boar. It's very majestic. I agree, Ghost. Now, that's exactly what Bonk needed to do. He needed to take out that boar, but his economy is kind of in the dumps. Yeah, he's starting to get some more farms going. Maybe sell off the falcons, right? I mean, the one thing that Sean's still got going for him here is that healthy economy on the back of this. He's kind of going back down to basics. He wants to keep this boar Warren and try to afford another tier 3 here. Typically not the right move to make in situations like this. You want to sell off that Warren, either get a couple extra farms out, get a couple extra tier 1 Warrens out, get something that's going to help you right here, right now, because this next attack from Bonk is going to be very, very difficult. However, Sean is saving up. And if you are, another tip too is like, if you have decided, you know what, no man, I'm going to get another tier 3, I'm not going to sell the Warren, I would recommend selling off some tier 1 just to get that boar going as quickly as you can, right? All right, we'll fast forward a little bit here. Sean Roberts wants to push out with these squirrels, but the composition here for Bonk should do pretty well against this. The skunk gas is a little bit late to get into the fray, but Lizards trade very well regardless against those squirrels, and a nice little victory there for Bonk. Okay, here comes Bonk, man. See, Sean now is at 8 farms up, but he just doesn't have anything else to his name. With the tier, I mean, I don't want to pick on Sean too much because he's probably a new player, maybe just a casual player. But you know, with that tier 3 Warren, you either want to, you know, sell it after you lose that tier 3, or you want to sell off some other things and afford that tier 3. You don't want to be sitting around, you know, with the tier 3 Warren that's supply blocked, you know, not producing for long periods of time. Sean Roberts sees the writing on the wall, taps out, and Bonk takes the game. Off some really cool lizard skunk aggression. You don't see that as often. I actually had a lot of success with lizards. I think lizards are pretty strong in the current meta because, you know, that squirrel skunk pigeon opening is still pretty popular. And lizards just do very well against that, I think. Alright guys, I've only got time for one more here tonight. So I do have to get going. I gotta work very early in the morning. I tried to put more on my docket here, but I might have bit off a little more than I could chew. Whoops. Whoops. What are we doing? What are we doing, you guys? So we're gonna do one more for you tonight. Match number 11. Okay, spawning in the bottom, we've got Keva Lalajnen. I'll just call him Kevin. And at the top, we've got Vladlad. All right. So again, we see this Fox Owl, man. We've been seeing more and more tonight. 2 tier 3 in people's decks, either going for something like that Wolf Badger or the Fox Owl. Even Owl Boar is very interesting. A lot of really creative compositions coming out. I think Mishi was mentioning in the chat earlier that the game balance seems to be pretty stable at the moment. I do agree. I think most units are pretty viable, especially in the tier 1 through 3 category. I mean, defense you can nitpick. I still would argue barbed wire mines are good. They're just more conditional. But that's kind of how they're meant to be. You know, barbed wire mines really take a lot of strategy and tactics, and you know, you need to be able to kind of digest a map very, very quickly and be like, okay, I can put 1 or 2 mines or 1 or 2 pieces of wire right here, you know, and that could make a big difference. But yeah, I think tier 1 through tier 3, I mean, everything seems to be in a pretty solid spot at the moment. And so far, nothing crazy this game. 8 farm into 2 tier 1 Warren. Pretty by the book standard stuff. And the only thing that's kind of weird this game is how close this rush distance is. And it's not necessarily that it's just close, it's also that there's not a lot of stuff in the way, right? Like, over here, there's a little bit of obstacles with the terrain and the water. And there's like a tree right here, but this is still a nice little pathway for either player to attack one another. If Vladlad's actually going to go for it, the way that Kevin here placed his Warrens leaves his pigs really exposed. This is a nice little learning replay for new players. That's kind of why you want to place your Warrens the way that Vladlad has placed them right here. So Vladlad gets a pig, and he almost gets another one there. Gets it very, very low HP. He's going to back out for now. Kevin is, rather. And Kevin is trying to get up to this expansion, but Vladlad is playing this. I think this is a fantastic style, man. Like, if you're having trouble on the ladder, I think you can steal Vladlad's deck here, steal his build. At least the first half of it, right? Like the squirrel, pigeon, skunk. And then just kind of fun with whatever flavor you want for those other 3 picks, right? The squirrel, pigeon, skunk is the real core here for a nice, aggressive, yet safe opening where you can transition a lot of ways out of it. A little bit of barbed wire going down for Vladlad as he decides maybe to be a bit more defensive here, take up a second base. And Kevin, you know, he doesn't have a big army. He's saving a lot of money. Okay, he goes for the ferret. I was kind of hyped up thinking maybe he's going to throw down the boar or something. But he's been going really, really hard on this second base, man. And beautiful turret placement. I think this turret is absolutely fine, especially when you're going so hardcore on eco in the back. You see a lot of high-level players do this, to be honest. Like, this is... As weird as this might look from Kevin, I mean, this is a build you'll see guys like Mishi or Chip do, or even Pyle or the Gentleman pretty often, where they want to just, you know, get this second base completely saturated ASAP and just kind of brace for impact and try to hold on in the early game. And now Kevin should be throwing down just a lot of tier 1 and trying to hold this position. That turret, though, all by itself gets knocked out immediately from by Vladlad there as he moves in position with this big squirrel, pigeon, skunk combination. Gonna try to get some damage on this ferret, doing some nice work from the back, but the skunks are just so much more impactful in a direct engagement. One of the skunks actually goes down for Vladlad there. It's a nice pickup for Kevin. Actually going down to some ferret fire. Now Vladlad might just have too much, man. He's right on top of Red's army, right on top of Red's base. He might be overextending, maybe, but I think with the pigeons here, really helping keep this front line healthy. Yeah, Vladlad might have to pull back, but he should be able to keep the aggression going as long as the skunk stays alive, which is getting very low and it actually goes down. Nice target fire there from Kevin. Oh man, Kevin holding on. Nice target fire from Vlad though, getting that ferret knocked out. And again, Vlad's main concern here is just keeping this skunk alive. So close to ending the game, but very nice defense there by Kevin. And now Kevin's in a good spot. He's got an incredible economic lead. If he can just kind of stabilize, you know, get up a little bit more tier 1 here, he should be in great shape. All right, Vladlad wants to move out, but this single turret is deflecting him for the time being. And this is what Kevin needs, man. Kevin just needs more time. He's got the better economy, so he's just getting more. But this is so greedy by Kevin, man. Trying to go all the way up on 8 farms on a third base. This might be the mistake here. If Vladlad keeps it real, man, and keeps pushing out army. Now, he is building a fox, so that's a little bit of a later investment. He's not going to be able to punish this greed as hard as he might like to. He's going to try to secure his own third base, expand his territory up, but he should be seeing, yeah, okay, how do you respond to this? Because you just see that your opponent has gone up to full saturation on a third base. Do you sell the fox and just build a lot of tier 1 and try to go for it right here, right now? No, it looks like he just wants to hold on for a little bit longer. I wouldn't even be surprised to see him throw down a couple of farms on his own third, as it's kind of safe as his opponent is doing that. But 7 farms to 18, man. The boar is on the way, but that's not the right call from Kevin. He really needs to get some snakes out get some owls out. But keep in mind, he hasn't scouted that fox warren, which, again, I don't really blame him for it, because it's really hard to do at this phase in the game, to really get that far back and search every little corner of your opponent's base when it's kind of large, established. They've got an army that'll take out your commander, all that kind of stuff. Man, Kevin, dude. He is just the avatar of greed here. What is the Greek god of greed, man? Bacchus is the god of wine, right? I know that one. There's got to be a god of money. Kevin would definitely be the god of money in this game. The fox is here, though, for Vladlad, but these turrets, these ferrets, these are all nice anti-fox repellent here. As that fox tries to move in to get something done, almost pays for it with its life. This barbed wire is going to be a little bit of a double-edged sword for Vladlad here, as it's going to slow down his fox's retreats path. You wouldn't know the god of booze. That's right, man. Dionysus. Yeah, I've heard that name before. I'll trust in Vladlad. Oh, needs to be careful running this fox. Oh my god, 2 HP on that fox. Very, very risky. The boar is here, though, and the owl is almost paid for. 15 farms, man. Oh, man. This is a fox perfect dream here. Look at this. These pigs existed for a second. Vladlad the Mad Lad. No, Pluto is the Roman version of Hades, right? God of the underworld. The god of metal. Do pigs mind when they are shooting? Yes. Yes, they do. Alright, Kevin coming in here, man. He's got a lot. He's pushing through. Most of the army for Vladlad has been destroyed. He's really only got the fox left. The boar goes down. Oh. Oh, man. That makes me so nervous watching those ferret bullets just almost hit the fox. It only takes 3 of them, man, on full HP. Kevin gets a lot of damage done, but doesn't quite seal the deal. And pushes in again for another attack. Oh, the owl goes down. A little bit of miscontrol there from Kevin. He was focus firing on the fox with his whole army, which is very tempting, but when you do that, you're ignoring all the other pieces of the fox player's army, and especially with a unit like the owl, you're bringing it too far forward. And Vladlad with some good micro here. And Kevin with not quite the right composition to deal with this is really starting to take a lot of damage. Blah, blah, blah. Alright, here comes that owl fox. We've seen it in a lot of compositions tonight, but I don't think we've actually seen it blossom to fruition here. Even utilizing those mice a little bit to tank that turret fire to get in there and knock out another pig. And Vladlad's got Kevin in the chokehold here. It just might be a little bit of a slow death. We'll have to see. Kevin's got like 3 or 4 owls will basically mitigate the fox, right? Or 4 snakes or something like that. I don't think the ferrets are the right play anymore at this point. Ferrets can do okay against the fox, but really something like the snake, man. That, you know, 4 snakes get in there and get a stack of poison on that fox. Lots and lots of squirrels can do it too, because the fox is obviously going to do great against the squirrel, but that requires movement, right? So if you position it correctly with just a whole bunch of squirrels, you can eventually box the fox in and corner it and take it out. Let's see, man, just a ton of squirrels here and a lot of ferrets. Maybe the ferrets are the right call. as they're going to help just absolutely demolish through all these buildings very quickly. The fox on the other side of this barbed wire, the squirrel's running into this barbed wire, taking a good amount of damage here. Oh man, and just too tunnel vision on this fox a little bit here. Walking through this barbed wire hurts so much. The owl is now exposed, the ferrets are exposed. This fox is just getting so much value over the course of this game. And I think Kevin is just looking for the kill here. He's hoping he can get in here and end the game, and he's gonna get close, but I think this campfire is gonna be enough to give Vladlad the survivability he needs, especially with this owl going down. That's gonna be it for Kevin. I imagine he'll be tapping out here shortly. No, he's gonna stay in, man. He believes. I guess Vladlad's not mining, but Owl Fox, man, that's a nice little kill combo here. The mice deal with the structures. The fox gets the hits on. Kevin is gonna make Vladlad earn it here. But with these mice, dude, Owl Fox is really cool to see. They synergize very, very well. Just gonna double check over here on this base. Nothing's going on. Blah. Gonna send just a few mice over here. Oh, knocks out those pigs right when they finish building. Very nice. This Grismel's gonna go down, however. And Kevin is just mustering up what he can to try to do a base race. I mean, why not? He's gonna make Vladlad kill him all the way, man. He's not just gonna lay on the floor and bleed to death. That's such a cool combo. You just really don't see it that often, especially in low numbers like that. Vladlad takes the game. Alright, that is it for me, everybody. I apologize I cut a few replays off the bottom, but we will get to those first thing on the next show. I'm just very tired and I gotta wake up very early in the morning, you guys. So, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate it. As always, please submit your games to ToothAndTailTV@gmail.com. This is a community show, man. It takes a village. I can't do it without audience participation, so it means a lot to me. You guys continue to send in replays, and I appreciate it, guys. That's gonna be it for tonight. I think I'm pretty busy this weekend. I'd like to stream a little bit of Ranked if I get the chance. Let us go host the old Protocam. So that's going to be it, everybody. Take it easy. Have a wonderful weekend. And I will see you guys next week. I'll update my YouTube premium bow.